well. Let's go. How bad is that shit? Let's see. Looks better, but Sarah, good morning. Enclave again. Agent Night Stalker. Son. behind the user my name. That's pretty much it. And I used to do like 30-second shorts or 15-second shorts. And I still like doing them from time to time, but I found out I can stream my ride. Hey, good morning. I'm having an issue with trailer 444. The blue gland hand where it locks in at the bottom, the little tab there. So, oh, all right, that works. All right. Somebody on here doing some freaky shit with a hamster? You alright, bro? You gotta get you a girlfriend, man. You know you can do that with people. It's way more fun. I think it'd be more satisfying too. That's a strange one. Overflow. Yeah, gotta overflow with weird ass ideas. I'm glad you stopped what you're doing. Put some eyes against the weird shit, alright? ride up Route 80 off of 33 headed west. End our day somewhere in Chicago area. Gary, Indiana. Along the way, we'll get some service done on this trailer gland hands. But overall, today's going to be a good day. A great day, matter of fact. Because it always is. Because I'm up and I'm working.
Every small setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth is, the most unshakable people don't have fewer problems. They've just mastered how they react. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No more overthinking, no more emotional outbursts, just complete control. In this video, I'll teach you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you. So you stop feeling trapped by your emotions and start owning them instead. Because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever have control over you again. 1. Mastering the nothing bothers me mindset. Life is filled with noise, people's opinions, daily frustrations, unexpected setbacks. The world is relentless in its ability to throw distractions, criticisms, and roadblocks in your path. But what if I told you that true strength comes from mastering the art of This is what it means to act as if nothing. Learning to detach your emotions from external circumstance. When you allow external events to dictate your mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. But when you train your mind to remain unmoved, you become the master of your destiny. The world respects those who remain calm in chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. When you embody this mindset, you command authority without saying a word. You move through life with power, with presence, with unshakable confidence. Think of the most influential individuals in history. They were not those who reacted impulsively to every slight, every criticism. Instead, they moved with an air of control, as if they knew something the rest of the world did not. Their strength was not in their ability to argue or fight back, but in their ability to remain unaffected. This is the true power of indifference. Consider the philosophy found in self-mastery and success literature. The most powerful lesson is that thought precedes action. What you think, you become. If you constantly react emotionally to the world, you give away your power. But if you cultivate an unwavering mindset, the world bends to your will. Those who achieve great things in life understand this principle. Control the mind, and you control your reality. Imagine a scenario where someone insults you in public. The natural response for most is anger, retaliation, or self-defense. But what happens when you simply smile and walk away? You rob the instigator of their power. They expected a reaction, and when they don't get it, they are left unsettled. You, on the other hand, walk away stronger, untouched, undefeated. This is the silent dominance that few understand but all admire. The same applies to failures and setbacks. When faced with rejection or defeat, most people let their emotions take over. They drown in frustration, losing days, weeks, or even years lamenting over what went wrong. But those who understand the power of indifference see failure as nothing more than data, a learning experience, an adjustment, a stepstone. They do not internalize failure. They observe, adapt, and move forward. How do you cultivate this level of control? It begins with training your mind daily. Practice the habit of pausing before reacting. Ask yourself, does this situation truly affect my long-term goals? Is my reaction necessary, or am I giving away my power? By consistently choosing non-reaction, you build an armor that shields you from the trivialities of life. Another crucial element is visualization. See yourself as someone who moves through life unaffected. Picture a version of yourself who does not flinch at insults, who does not crumble under pressure. When you reinforce this image in your mind, it becomes your reality. The mind is powerful, and what you repeatedly visualize, you become. Let people wonder why you're not rattled. Let them question how you stay composed. Because when you show that nothing bothers you, you control the game. You become an enigma, someone people look up to but can never quite figure out. And in that mystery lies your strength. True power is not about domination or aggression. It is about presence. A presence so strong that it doesn't need to prove itself. A presence that commands respect through silence, through an unshakable state of mind. Master this, and you master life. To stay unshaken. Think about the strongest people you know. They don't react impulsively. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. They pause, they assess, they respond with intention. This is not because they lack emotions, but because they have mastered them. Emotional detachment isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about controlling. Picture this. You're in a heated argument, and the other person is trying to provoke you. Do you react? Do you let their words control your emotions? Or do you smile unaffected, knowing their words hold no weight unless you give them power? Emotional detachment is about refusing to hand over your peace to external forces. It's about understanding that your inner world is sacred, untouchable. When you adopt this approach, stress decreases, clarity increases, and life's challenges become mere puzzles to solve, not battles to fight. Think of the principle that thoughts shape reality. What you focus on, you attract. When you allow external events to dictate your state of mind, you become a slave to circumstances. But when you take control of your thoughts and emotions, you become the architect of your own fate. Consider the story of a man who lost everything. His business collapsed, his investments crumbled, and he was left with nothing. Most would drown in despair, but not him. Instead, he saw the failure as a lesson, not a tragedy. He understood that his mind was his greatest asset, and no external loss could take that away. With this mindset, he rebuilt everything, stronger than before. This is the power of detachment. When you stop identifying with failures or setbacks, you free yourself to rise above them. A major reason people fail to achieve their goals is emotional turbulence. They let fear, doubt, and frustration control them. They start with ambition, but give up the moment challenges arise. But those who master detachment understand that emotions are just fleeting sensations. They don't allow temporary feelings to derail long-term goals. They persist because they have trained their minds to see obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Training yourself to be emotionally detached does not mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you no longer allow external forces to dictate your internal state. You can experience joy, sadness, and excitement, but you remain in control. Your emotions serve you, not the other way around. To develop this mindset, practice stepping back in emotionally charged situations. The next time someone insults you, pause. Instead of reacting, observe your feelings. Ask yourself, does this affect my life in any meaningful way? More often than not, the answer is no. By choosing not to react, you take away their power over you. Detachment also comes from having a clear purpose. When you have a strong vision, petty distractions no longer shake you. Your focus becomes unbreakable because you understand that your energy is too valuable to waste on things that don't serve you. The world belongs to those who master themselves. The more you cultivate emotional control, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you remain calm. While others react, you respond, and in doing so, you gain an advantage that few ever will. True strength is not about physical dominance or loud displays of power. It's about having an unshakable presence, one that commands respect without demanding it. When you master the art of emotional detachment, you don't just navigate life, you control it. 3, mindful indifference is a superpower. We're conditioned to believe we must care about everything. People's opinions, their validation, their judgments. Society teaches us that our worth is measured by how much we invest in the thoughts and expectations of others. But true freedom, it comes when you realize that most things simply don't matter. The next time you find yourself overthinking, ask, will this matter in 5 years? If not, let it go. Most of what troubles us, criticism, temporary setbacks, fleeting embarrassments, becomes insignificant with time. Yet we allow them to consume our thoughts, dictate our emotions, and control our actions. This is why mastering indifference is the key to regaining your power. Indifference doesn't mean apathy. It means prioritization. It means recognizing that your energy is finite and choosing to invest it in what truly deserves your focus. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every opinion is worth considering. When you stop reacting to every minor inconvenience, you regain control. You shift from being emotionally reactive to being strategically responsive. And that shift, it changes everything. Think of the people you admire most. Those aren't the ones desperately seeking approval or reacting emotionally to every challenge. They are the ones who stand firm, unshaken by the noise of the world. They know who they are, and because of that, they cannot be easily manipulated or influenced. When you adopt this mindset, something remarkable happens. People start to respect you more, not because you seek their validation, but because they see you as someone who cannot be moved. In a world where most are desperate to fit in, to be liked, to conform, the one who stands firm in their own self-worth holds the true power. Consider a scenario where someone criticizes you unfairly. The weak-minded immediately react, defending themselves, over-explaining, or retaliating. The strong, however, remain calm. They understand that words only have power if they allow them to. By not reacting, they maintain control, not just of the situation, but of themselves. And that self-respect, it commands more respect than any outburst ever could. The same principle applies to success. Those who achieve greatness are not those who waste their energy on trivial concerns. They are laser-focused on their goals, refusing to be distracted by petty dramas or external judgments. They operate with clarity, knowing that every moment spent worrying about irrelevant things is a moment stolen from their progress. So how do you cultivate this level of indifference? Start by evaluating your reactions. The next time you feel anger, frustration, or anxiety rising over something minor, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? More often than not, the answer will be no. Train yourself to let go of what does not serve you. Another powerful practice is setting clear priorities. Define what truly matters in your life. Your purpose, your growth, your peace of mind. When you have a strong foundation of self-worth, the opinions and judgments of others lose their grip on you. You become untouchable. Not because you don't care about anything, but because you care deeply about the right things. This is the secret that most never realize. True power lies not in seeking approval, but in being unmoved by rejection. It is found in the ability to walk away from what drains you, to rise above petty conflicts, and to remain focused in a world full of distraction. In the end, it is not about caring less. It is about caring wisely. It is about choosing where to direct your energy and refusing to waste it on what does not deserve your attention. Because when you master the art of indifference, you don't just survive, you thrive. And in a world where everyone is overly concerned with pleasing others, the one who stands firm in their own self-worth will always rise above the rest. 4. Stop seeking approval. Seeking approval is a trap. It places your happiness in the hands of others, making you dependent on their validation. The reality? No one's opinion of you should outweigh your own. The moment you give someone else the power to define your worth, you lose control over your own life. True confidence isn't given, it's built. Through self-reliance, through knowing that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. Think about the most magnetic individuals you've ever encountered. They don't beg for approval. They don't shrink themselves to fit in. They own who they are, flaws and all. And that's what makes them powerful. Their strength lies in their unwavering sense of self. While others chase validation, they walk their own path, unapologetically and with purpose. The need for approval is rooted in fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. But here's the truth. The more you seek approval, the more you surrender your power. You become a prisoner of expectations, bending and twisting yourself to fit into molds designed by others. And in doing so, you betray yourself. Freedom comes when you release the need to be liked by everyone. It's an illusion to think that universal approval is even possible. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. Some will admire you, others will criticize you, and many won't care at all. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Consider the people who change the world. Leaders, innovators, creators, they are not concerned with fitting in. They are driven by vision, by purpose, by the fire within them. They face criticism, yet they remain unfazed. Their confidence is built on something far stronger than public opinion. It is built on self-belief, and that is what makes them unstoppable. If you want to break free from the approval trap, start by asking yourself, whose opinion truly matters? More often than not, the loudest voices are from those who do not walk your path, who do not understand your journey. Their words carry no real weight unless you allow them to. Another crucial step is learning to validate yourself, acknowledge your own progress, celebrate your wins, big or small. When you start recognizing your own worth, external approval becomes irrelevant. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You simply know you are. Detaching from validation does not mean becoming arrogant or dismissive. It means standing firm in who you are. It means respecting your own decisions, your own journey, and refusing to let others dictate your path. It means understanding that your value is not something to be negotiated or debated. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you start living freely. You no longer filter your words, your actions, or your dreams through the lens of others' expectations. You move through life with authenticity, with boldness, with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you, and that's okay. The ones who matter will respect you, not because you seek their approval, but because you don't need it. So, choose yourself. Stand firm in your beliefs, in your values, in your vision. Let go of the need for external validation and embrace the power of self-acceptance. Because once you do, you become untouchable, not because you have everyone's approval, but because you no longer require it. 5, handle criticism. Criticism is inevitable, but how you handle it defines your strength. Most people crumble at the first sign of disapproval. They take every comment to heart, allowing it to shape their self-identity, dictate their actions, and weaken their resolve. But why? Criticism is nothing more than words, opinions and perspectives that often come from those who don't even understand your journey. The reality is that criticism only has as much power as you give it. When you react emotionally, you let it control you. When you filter it through logic, you remain in control. The strongest individuals don't let criticism shake them. They assess it with a clear mind, take what's useful, and discard the rest. No unnecessary emotion, no overreaction, just selective attention to what truly matters. The key lesson, filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what serves you, ignore what doesn't, and never let someone's opinion disrupt your peace. There are 2 types of criticism, constructive and destructive. Constructive criticism is valuable. It helps you improve. It comes from people who have experience, knowledge, and a genuine desire to see you grow. This is the type of feedback you should welcome. Destructive criticism, however, is designed to break you down. It often stems from jealousy, insecurity, or lack of understanding. These opinions are meaningless unless you make the mistake of internalizing them. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. As he chisels away, people stop to watch. Some admire his work, some offer helpful suggestions, and others mock his efforts. Does the sculptor abandon his vision because of a few negative voices? No. He continues, guided by his inner vision, filtering out the noise. This is how you must approach criticism. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, does this person have the experience or credibility to judge me? If they do, consider their words. If they don't, move on. Not all voices deserve your attention. Most criticism comes from people who have never done what you are doing. Their words are reflections of their own limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional resilience. Weak-minded individuals react impulsively, they get defensive, argue, or retreat into self-doubt. The strong remain unmoved. They acknowledge criticism, process it, but never let it disrupt their inner peace. When you respond to criticism with calm indifference, you show the world that your confidence is unshakable. Consider the great minds of history, visionaries, creators, and leaders. Every one of them faced relentless criticism. Their ideas were doubted, their decisions questioned. Yet they pressed forward, refusing to let outside noise deter them. Their ability to stand firm in the face of doubt is what set them apart. They understood that criticism is often the price of progress. If you want to develop this mindset, practice detachment. The next time someone criticizes you, pause. Don't react immediately. Instead, analyze. Is there value in their words? If yes, learn from it. If not, dismiss it. When you master this habit, you free yourself from the emotional burden of seeking approval. Another powerful approach is self-conveyance. When you truly believe in your path, external opinions lose their grip on you. Confidence comes from within, not from the approval or disapproval of others. The moment you realize this, you become immune to shallow criticism. The world will always have something to say. Some will praise you, others will doubt you. But in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. True power lies in the ability to hear criticism, evaluate it rationally, and move forward without losing focus. So, the next time someone criticizes you, remember, it's just noise. Learn from it if necessary, but never let it define you. The strongest people do not fear criticism. They use it wisely, or they ignore it completely. 6. Keep your composure under pressure. Pressure exposes people. Some break, some fold, but the strong, they remain unshaken. Why? Because they prepare their minds before the storm arrives. They understand that pressure is not an anomaly, it is a certainty. And when you expect challenges, you stop being surprised by them. The secret is to detach from the need for control. Understand this: not everything will go according to plan. People will disappoint you, obstacles will appear, unexpected setbacks will come, but you do not react emotionally, you respond with strategy, with calm calculation. Most people crack under pressure because they resist reality. They expect everything to be smooth, predictable, and within their grasp. And when life proves otherwise, they panic, they complain, they freeze. But those who train themselves to embrace uncertainty, they adapt, they move with the chaos, not against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He does not enter battle expecting an easy fight. He expects resistance, ambushes, and unforeseen threats. Yet he remains composed. Why? Because he has already accepted the reality of conflict. He does not waste energy wishing for ease. Instead, he focuses on execution. You must adopt the same mindset. The world will test you. It will throw stress, failure, and doubt your way. But if you have trained yourself to be composed under pressure, nothing will shake you. While others scramble in panic, you will move with precision. You will not react, you will respond. There is power in mastering control, not over external events, but over yourself. When you no longer need things to go perfectly, you become unstoppable. When you understand that pressure is inevitable, you stop fearing it. Instead, you see it for what it truly is, an opportunity to refine your composure. Think of the leaders, the most unshakable individuals. They do not flinch in chaos. They do not crumble when things go wrong. Instead, they exude calmness, certainty, and control. This is what makes them stand out. People look at them and wonder, how does nothing faze them? How do they stay so composed while others fall apart? It is because they have trained their minds to expect difficulty. They have rehearsed their reactions before the test even arrives. They understand that emotions cloud judgment, and so they detach from unnecessary feelings. They prioritize logic over panic, and in doing so they maintain an advantage that most will never have. To build this level of control, start by shifting your perspective on pressure. See it as a game, a test of your discipline. When faced with stress, challenge yourself to remain composed. Observe your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Another essential practice is preparation. The strongest individuals do not wait for pressure to arrive. They train for it. Mentally rehearse worst-case scenarios. Condition your mind to remain steady under stress. When you do this, nothing catches you off guard. You become a strategist, not a reactor. Most people go through life unprepared, relying on hope rather than discipline. They expect things to work in their favor, and when they don't, they collapse. But those who train their minds for adversity, they do not break, they do not fold. They remain standing, unaffected. So, the next time pressure builds, remind yourself, this is my test, my moment to prove control. While others panic, you will breathe. While others react, you will calculate. And when the storm passes, you will still be standing, untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. 7 said, letting go of what you can't control, suffering often comes from attachment. to outcomes, to expectations, to things outside of our control. We grip tightly to what we think should happen, to how we believe life should unfold. And when reality doesn't align with our desires, we feel pain. But true mental strength, it lies in letting go. Picture a river. Water flows around obstacles, never resisting, never fighting. It does not demand that rocks move out of its way, nor does it stop flowing when met with resistance. It adapts. That's how you must approach life. Some things will happen regardless of how much you stress over them. The job offer that never came, the person who walked away, the setback you didn't anticipate. You can either resist and suffer, or you can adapt and move forward. The choice is always yours. Letting go is not about giving up. It is about shifting your focus to what you can control. Clinging to expectations makes you fragile. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration, replaying past events, questioning what could have been different. But when you embrace the reality that some things are beyond your influence, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Think of the strongest people you know. They are not the ones who fight against the inevitable. They are the ones who remain calm in the face of uncertainty. They have mastered detachment, not from life, but from the illusion of control. They understand that life is unpredictable and that peace comes from flowing with it, not against it. Most people spend their energy trying to force outcomes. They attach their happiness to specific results. If things go as planned, they feel satisfied. If not, they fall apart. This is a weak way to live. Strength comes from adaptable. When you detach from rigid expectations, you develop a resilience that makes you unstoppable. No event, no disappointment, no setback can break you. The key to letting go is awareness. The next time you find yourself holding on to something too tightly, an outcome, a person, an expectation, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. Do not waste your energy on what you cannot change. Instead, redirect it towards something that moves you forward. Detachment is a skill. It requires practice. Start small, let go of minor frustrations, the long line at the store, the slow traffic, the unexpected change in plan. Observe how freeing it feels to not react, to not allow external circumstances to dictate your mood. Over time, apply this mindset to bigger challenges. Some may mistake detachment for indifference, but they are not the same. Indifference is apathy, a refusal to engage with life. Detachment, on the other hand, is a deep understanding that while you can participate in life fully, you do not have to be ruled by its uncertainties. You can care deeply about your goals, relationships, and experiences, but you do not have to suffer when things do not go as expected. The moment you choose to let go of what you can't control, you become untouchable. You walk through life with a sense of peace that others admire but cannot understand. While they are consumed by frustration and disappointment, you remain steady, unshaken. They wonder how you do it, why nothing seems to disturb your composure. The truth? You have simply mastered the art of letting go. So stop resisting, accept what is, adapt to what comes. And above all, remember, the strongest minds do not cling, they flow. Just like the river, they move forward, untouched by the obstacles in their path. 8, silence is the ultimate power move. In a world obsessed with noise, silence is a weapon. Most people talk to fill space, to gain validation, to prove something. But the most powerful individuals, they don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate, and when they finally speak, every word carries weight. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to second-guess themselves, to analyze your thoughts, to wonder what you're thinking. In a conversation, the one who speaks less holds more control. Words reveal, but silence conceals. When you master the art of silence, you shift power dynamics in your favor. You gain control over conversations, over situations, over how people perceive you. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to explanations, justifications, unnecessary words. But when you hold back, you force others to reveal themselves. The more they speak, the more they expose their thoughts, their insecurities, their intentions. Meanwhile, you remain a mystery, and in that mystery lies power. Imagine being in a negotiation. The person across from you presents an offer and expects an immediate response, but instead of reacting, you pause. You let silence stretch. The longer you wait, the more unsettled they become. They start second-guessing. They fill the silence with better terms, with compromises, with desperation. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension creates leverage. The same principle applies in everyday interactions. The next time someone insults you, stay silent. Most people expect a reaction. Anger, defense, retaliation. When you give them nothing, they lose power over you. They start wondering if their words had any effect. They start feeling foolish. Your silence forces them to deal with their own emotions rather than feeding off yours. Silence is also a tool for observation. When you talk less, you notice more. You see the hesitation in someone's voice, the nervous shift in their posture, the contradiction in their words. Most people miss these cues because they're too busy speaking. But when you master silence, you become a strategist. You gather information while revealing nothing in return. There is a reason the world's most influential figures are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who choose their words with precision. They do not waste energy on meaningless chatter. They understand that speaking less does not mean knowing less. On the contrary, it means knowing more. If you want to cultivate power through silence, start practicing restraint. The next time you're in a conversation, pause before speaking. Observe the room. Listen more than you talk. Let others reveal themselves first. The less you say, the more people will lean in when you finally speak. Another way to harness silence is to embrace it in moments of high emotion. When you're angry, stay silent. When you're insulted, stay silent. When someone demands an immediate response, delay it. The ability to control your speech in intense situations is the ultimate demonstration of discipline. And discipline commands respect. Powerful people are not reactive. They do not let emotions dictate their words. They understand that silence can be a response in itself. A pause can say more than a sentence. A moment of quiet can shift an entire interaction. The next time you're in a situation where someone expects you to react, don't. Stay silent, let them wonder, let them reveal themselves, and watch how the power shifts in your favor. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who speaks the least often holds the most influence. Master silence and you master control. 9, train yourself to stay calm no matter what your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you allow in will determine whether you win or lose. Every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, these are enemies that must be conquered. The strongest individuals are not those who never experience negative thoughts, but those who refuse to be controlled by them. To train an unshakable mind, you must build mental habits. Gratitude to counter negativity, discipline to override laziness, detachment to eliminate suffering. Just as the body grows stronger through repeated resistance, the mind becomes resilient through daily training. You cannot expect mental toughness to appear in moments of crisis if you have not conditioned yourself for it. Every day you must train yourself to be unfazed, to pause before reacting, to breathe before responding. Most people are slaves to their emotions, reacting impulsively, acting out of fear, surrendering to frustration. But the ones who control their minds, they control everything. This is how warriors think. This is how leaders operate. They do not allow distractions, disappointments, or insults to shake them. They move through life with a sense of purpose, a deep-rooted calm that others cannot comprehend. And because of this, they become unbreakable. Understand this. Mental strength is built in the small, everyday moments. It is in waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It is in choosing to stay silent when you could argue. It is in pushing forward when everything in you wants to quit. The mind, like a muscle, grows through resistance. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen it. One of the most powerful mental habits you can develop is detachment. When you learn to separate yourself from emotions, from outcomes, from external chaos, you gain an advantage over those who are constantly reacting. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means control. It means understanding that you cannot control the world, but you can always control your response to it. Imagine a storm. Most people get caught in the winds, tossed around by circumstances, struggling against forces they cannot control. But those with unshakable minds, they stand still, grounded, letting the storm pass around them. They do not waste energy fighting the uncontrollable. They reserve their strength for what truly matters. Another crucial element of mental training is discipline. The mind will always seek comfort, ease, and the path of least resistance. This is why most people never achieve true strength. They give in to distractions, procrastination, and self-doubt. But discipline rewires the mind. When you consistently choose discipline over comfort, you reshape yourself into someone who is unstoppable. Start small. Commit to habits that reinforce your mental strength. Meditate to sharpen your focus. Exercise to reinforce discipline. Read to expand your mind. Keep your word to yourself, no matter how small the promise. Over time, these small acts build into something powerful, an unshakable mind. The world will test you. People will challenge you. Life will throw obstacles in your path. But the moment you master your mind, nothing external can shake you. You will move through life with a level of confidence, control, and power that few ever achieve. And when others ask how you remain so steady, so unbothered, so composed, you will know the answer. You train for this, and nothing. 10, mastering the art of moving in silence. Real power moves in silence. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need validation. It simply acts and lets the results speak for themselves. The loudest people in the room are often the weakest. They crave recognition. They announce their intentions. They seek approval. But the strongest, they move quietly, strategically, with precision. If you want to be respected, stop announcing your plans. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. Just do the work. Just make progress. Success is not built through words. It is built through action. The more you talk, the more you invite scrutiny, doubt, and resistance. But when you work in silence, no one sees you coming. And by the time they notice, it's too late. The strongest individuals don't waste energy proving themselves. They let their success do the talking. They don't argue, they don't seek to impress, they don't over-explain. They move with certainty, and that certainty commands respect. The moment you stop looking for validation, you start becoming unstoppable. There's a reason why the most influential figures in history were not the ones constantly talking about their next move. They understood that power is not in promises, it is in execution. They did not explain their vision to those who wouldn't understand. They simply built, created, and dominated in silence. If you want to master this, develop the discipline to keep your ambitions private. Work relentlessly, but do not seek applause. Let people wonder about your next move. Let them question how you stay so composed, so unfazed. The less they know, the more control you have. Silence is not passivity, it is strategy. It forces people to fill in the gaps, to speculate, to overthink. And in that uncertainty, you gain power. When you do speak, your words carry weight. People listen not because you demand attention, but because they know you don't waste words. In a world where everyone is desperate to be noticed, be the one who doesn't seek recognition. While others chase attention, you chase mastery. While they focus on appearing successful, you focus on actually becoming successful. This is the difference between those who talk about doing great things and those who actually do them. If you feel the urge to explain your plans, resist it. If you feel the need to prove yourself, hold back. If you want to show the world your progress, let your results do it for you. The moment you stop feeding external validation, you'll notice something. People will start paying attention. They will wonder how you did it. They will question how nothing ever seems to bother you. And that's when you'll know you've truly mastered the game. Not because you told the world, but because you showed it without saying a word.
If you're using ChatGPT but don't know how to monetize it, watch this video to the end. Alright, step 1, go to Amazon and
everything you see, everything you experience, is the outpicturing of your inner world. The mind, the unseen power within, is the creator of all circumstances. You may believe that life is happening to you, that events are unfolding outside of your control, but this is the great illusion. Nothing is ever out of control, for all things move according to the assumptions you hold in the silence of your mind. You do not need to fight circumstances, nor wrestle with conditions. To attempt to change the outer world without first altering the inner is like trying to fix a reflection in a mirror while ignoring the face that casts it. The secret is simple. Act as though everything is unfolding perfectly, because it is. Even that which seems chaotic is merely a reshuffling of the unseen forces arranging themselves to match your state of being. Doubt is the enemy of creation. The moment you allow fear to creep in, you give power to the very things you wish to avoid. But when you stand firm in your knowing, when you move through life with a quiet confidence that all is well, you shift the tides in your favor. The world responds not to your words, not to your frantic efforts, but to the deep conviction you carry. You must embody the certainty that nothing is out of control, because your reality is always being shaped by the unseen hand of your imagination. What you feel to be true now will harden into fact. If you feel uncertain, life will reflect uncertainty. If you feel powerless, events will conspire to prove your weakness.
And now we're listening to Neville
But if
Goddard.
you walk as one who knows, as one who trusts the unseen laws that govern all things,
Sweetheart 7, I hope you're
then
still
life
here.
will mold itself to your vision. This is not faith
So you
in
can hear
blind
my
chance.
response. I didn't see it in
It is the
time.
mastery of divine law. It is the understanding that every experience is drawn to you not by accident, but by the
Matthew
vibrational
Williams, we're
frequency
going to Wisconsin.
of your consciousness. The key is to act as though it is already done. Move with a quiet assurance that everything is working in perfect harmony. When the storm rages, when the world seems unstable, do not react, do not be shaken. Observe it with detachment, knowing that reality is not fixed, it is fluid, shifting according to the direction of your attention. There is no need to control anything outside of yourself, for when you master your inner world, the outer world will follow. The world you see, the experiences you encounter, the people you meet, all of it is a reflection of the inner state you hold within. Reality is not something happening to you, it is something unfolding from you. Everything in your external world is a mirror, faithfully reflecting the assumptions, beliefs, and feelings you carry in the silence of your mind. The moment you understand this, you step into a position of true power, where you realize that nothing is out of control. Everything is operating in perfect harmony with the consciousness you maintain. Most people believe that life is a series of random events, that circumstances arise by chance, and that they are merely reacting to what happens around them. But this is the great illusion. The truth is that by the unseen forces of your consciousness, you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, shapes the very fabric of your reality. The outer world is merely a projection of your inner state, like a shadow cast by an unseen light. When you observe your life,
Welcome, sweetheart.
you may see patterns repeating themselves, similar challenges, familiar struggles, recurring situations. You may wonder why the same obstacles keep appearing, why certain experiences seem inevitable. The reason is simple. Your consciousness has not changed. You continue to hold the same assumptions, the same beliefs, and so life continues to reflect them. It is not life that is against you, it is the script you are unknowingly writing within yourself. The moment you shift your inner state, reality must respond accordingly, for it has no choice but to conform to the...
I believe this is going to change your life. Yeah, that simple circle is a cell. Look,
choice but to conform to the vibration you emit. This is why trying to change external conditions without first addressing your inner world is futile. It is like trying to fix a reflection in a mirror without changing the object that casts it. You may push against circumstances, fight them, struggle to alter them, but unless you transform your consciousness, they will persist or reappear in another form. True transformation comes not from effort, but from alignment. The moment you embody a new state of being, reality must shift to reflect it. Consider the nature of belief. If you believe the world is chaotic, if you assume that things are constantly going wrong, you will find endless evidence to support this assumption. Every difficulty, every unexpected event, every moment of uncertainty will reinforce your belief that life is unstable. But if you shift your perspective, if you assume that everything is unfolding in divine order, you will begin to see proof of that as well. Situations that once seemed chaotic will reveal themselves to be perfectly timed. Events that appeared negative will lead to unexpected blessings. The world has not changed. Only your perception of it has. And in changing your perception, you have altered the reality you experience. Nothing is ever truly out of control because consciousness is the only reality. The things you see, the circumstances you encounter, like waves upon the surface of an ocean, but the depths remain unchanged. The real power lies not in chasing the waves, but in mastering the depths. Your inner world is the foundation upon which all things are built. The moment you take responsibility for your inner state, you reclaim your power. You are no longer at the mercy of external conditions because you realize that all conditions are merely the outpicturing of your state of being. This does not mean you must suppress your emotions and deny what you see in front of you. It means you must recognize that what you see is only a reflection of past assumptions. If you do not like what is appearing in your life, do not fight it. Change your consciousness. Instead of reacting to the world as it is, begin to assume the reality of your desires as if they are already fulfilled. Act as though everything is working in your favor because it is. Even the challenges you face are guiding you to a higher awareness, showing you where you need to shift internally. Every great transformation begins within. A person who believes they are abundant will naturally experience abundance. A person who assumes they are loved will naturally attract love. The person who walks with confidence in the unseen power within them will see life reorganize itself to match that conviction. This is not wishful thinking. It is the very foundation upon which reality operates. The world does not respond to what you say or what you want. It responds to what you want. Many people struggle because they are constantly affirming what they do not want. They observe lack, and they affirm it by feeling its presence. They see conflict, and they affirm it by reacting with anger or fear. They feel powerless, and they affirm it by seeking external validation. But the moment you decide to shift your inner state, you break free from this cycle. You no longer allow the world to dictate your feelings. Instead, you decide how you wish to feel. And you persist in that feeling until the world reflects it back to you. There is no force outside of you that is controlling your destiny. The only force shaping your reality is your own consciousness. What you consistently feel, what you assume to be true, what you expect. These are the seeds that create your future. You may believe that change requires effort, but the only real work is internal. The moment you fully accept a new state of being, the external world must shift to align with it. There is no other possibility. For reality is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your consciousness. Even when things appear uncertain, even when circumstances seem to be moving in the opposite direction of your desires, hold firm to your inner knowing. Do not be swayed by appearances, for appearances are nothing more than past thoughts materialized. Instead, remain anchored in your assumption that all is well. Move with a quiet confidence that life is unfolding exactly as it should. Act as if everything is already working in your favor, and soon you will see evidence that it always was. This is the great secret. You do not need to control anything outside of yourself. You only need to master your own state of being. The moment you assume the feeling of your desired reality, the world must conform. It has no choice, for consciousness is the only reality. Truly understand this. You have the future, nor will you struggle against the Simply align yourself with the highest vision of your life, and the world will reflect it effortlessly. Trying to change external circumstances without first changing your inner state is like attempting to fix a reflection in a mirror while ignoring the object that casts it. Everything in your life is a result of your inner world. The assumptions you hold, the beliefs you accept as true, and the emotions you nurture. If you wish to see a different reality, you must first shift your inner state. No amount of effort in the outer world will bring lasting change if the consciousness that created the original condition remains the same. The outer world is simply a projection of the inner world, and to transform it, you must begin from within. Many people live their lives reacting to external conditions, believing that circumstances dictate their emotions, actions, and destiny. They see an unwanted situation and immediately try to fix it by working harder, pushing against it, or attempting to manipulate it. But these efforts are often in vain because they are merely... The true cause of all experiences is found within the state of consciousness that precedes them. If you continue to carry the same beliefs and assumptions, life will continue to reflect them, regardless of how much external action you take. The mind is the creative power behind all things. Every experience, every encounter, every situation is drawn into your reality based on the mental and emotional states you habitually dwell in. If you assume struggle, struggle will meet you at every turn. If you believe life is difficult, difficulties will manifest. If you feel powerless, circumstances will arise that confirm your powerlessness. But the moment you change your assumptions, the moment you accept a new reality within, the outer world begins to reshape itself to match your new state of being. Now imagine this person shifts their consciousness. Instead of assuming lack, they begin to embody the feeling of financial security. They no longer dwell on what they don't have. They start feeling as though they already possess abundance. They walk through life with confidence, knowing that their needs are always met. They stop worrying about money and start expecting financial ease. When this internal shift happens, something remarkable occurs. New opportunities arise, unexpected sources of income appear, and financial struggles begin to dissolve. The external world...
I wish I had known this last year. I could have already been in my 2025 body in 2024. There are two superfoods that I love.
Unexpected sources of income appear, and financial struggles begin to dissolve. The external world rearranges itself to reflect their new inner state. This is why struggling against external circumstances is a waste of energy. It is like trying to change the image on a movie screen without altering the film. The screen is merely reflecting what is already imprinted within the projector. You do not need to fix the screen. You need to change the image being projected. And that image is created in your mind through the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you nurture, and the beliefs you hold as true. The power of assumption is the key to transformation. When you assume something to be true and persist in that assumption, reality conforms to match it. This is not about forcing yourself to think positively or pretending things are different. It is about fully embracing a new state of being, feeling the reality of your desire so completely that it becomes second nature. When you do this, the outer world must shift to align with your inner conviction. Some may wonder, but what about circumstances beyond my control? What about things that seem to happen randomly? The answer is simple. Nothing happens independently of consciousness. Even the events that appear to influence are drawn into your experience based on your dominant state of being. If you persist in a belief long enough, even the most unexpected events will conspire to reflect it. This is why some people seem to have endless bad luck while others always land on their feet. It is not luck. It is the result of their state of consciousness. The key to lasting change is you, but in mastering what is within. Love, become the embodiment of love. If you desire success, assume the feeling of accomplishment. If you want peace, dwell in the consciousness of peace. The world is merely an echo, repeating back to you the vibrations you send out. Change the source, and the reflection must change. There is no need to force, push, or fight against anything. Resistance only strengthens the very conditions you wish to change. Instead, and persist in it with what they see, believing that circumstances dictate. The world is not they see, believing that circumstances dictate. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. It does not happen to you, it happens through you. What you accept as true in the depths of your consciousness determines what appears before you. When you assume that everything is working in your favor, even the events that seem challenging begin to
Hey, good morning. All right, so I'm glad you made it to work safe. The blue glad hand on the trailer, the bottom where the tab is that puts the pressure opposite to the same one, at the moment, she might have some decent trailer brake. Need to get somewhere to. Yeah, it's the red side, but the blue side adds a little bit to it when I'm hitting on the. Yeah, I'm trying to get to one. I'm a little out of the way here. I'm here on 80 Pennsylvania. All right, that's what's up. Thanks, man. Later.
Feel themselves as stepping stones toward the greater good. Consider how the mind influences perception. If you assume that life is a struggle, you will find proof of struggle everywhere. Every setback will feel like confirmation that things are difficult.
Now say your kid spills juice on your shirt. You just toss it in the wash with their appreciation.
Every challenge will seem like an obstacle rather than an opportunity. But if you shift your assumption and begin to see life as a perfectly ordered system, working in your favor, something miraculous happens. What once seemed like setbacks become redirections. What appeared to be obstacles turn into lessons. You begin to see how even the things you once resisted were actually guiding you to something better. The power of assumption does not mean you ignore reality or pretend that difficulties do not exist. It means you understand that reality is fluid, that it is shaped by your inner world, and that by shifting your inner state, you shift the way reality unfolds. When you assume that all things are working for your highest good, you free yourself from unnecessary worry, fear, and doubt. You stop reacting to appearances and begin responding with confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Imagine a person who loses a job. If they believe that this is a sign of failure, that life is against them, that nothing ever works out, then they will experience more situations that reinforce these beliefs. They will feel stuck, powerless, and fearful of the future. But if they assume that this event is merely a transition, that something better is on its way, that life is shifting things in their favor, they will experience a completely different outcome. Their mind will be open to new opportunities. Their energy will attract new possibilities, and life will reorganize itself to match their assumption. This is the nature of reality. What you expect, what you assume, what you persist in feeling, these are the forces that shape your world. The moment you decide that everything is working in your favor, you align yourself with an effortless flow. You no longer resist change, you embrace it. You no longer see difficulties as punishments, you see them as lessons guiding you to greater wisdom. You begin to trust the process of life instead of fearing it. Many people struggle because they operate from a place of doubt. They question whether things will work out, they hesitate, they second guess, they look for external validation before they believe in the possibility of success. But assumption is not about waiting for proof. It is about creating the proof. When you assume something is true and persist in that assumption, reality has no choice but to conform. The world is not random. It is precise. It is structured in such a way that it must reflect back to you what you hold as truth. There is immense freedom in this understanding. You no longer need to control the details of how something will happen. You do not need to force outcomes or manipulate circumstances. All that is required is that you dwell in the state of your desired reality. If you assume that life is taking care of you, that every event is leading you closer to your highest potential, then that will become your experience. This is not about blind optimism or ignoring reality. It is about recognizing that reality is malleable, that it is your consciousness. And confidence, you allow life to unfold in its most beautiful form. When you assume that everything is working in your favor, you move through life with ease. You stop reacting to every minor inconvenience as if it were a catastrophe. You stop fearing change because you understand that every change is simply a shift towards something greater. The greatest shifts in life happen not through effort, but through alignment. The moment you align yourself with the assumption that all things are working out, life opening where they were once closed, opportunities appearing effortlessly. This is not magic, it is the natural law of consciousness in action. What you accept as true within yourself must be expressed in the world around you. Many people believe that success, happiness, and peace require struggle. They believe that they must fight against circumstances, work tirelessly, and endure hardship to achieve what they want. But this belief itself creates resistance. When you assume that everything is working in your favor, you let go of struggle and enter a state of allowing. You recognize that the very things you desire are already making their way to you. There is no need to force them. You only need to remain open and receptive. This is why some people seem to have an effortless flow in life, while others seem to constantly struggle. The difference is not in external circumstances. It is in internal assumptions. Those who assume ease experience ease. Those who assume struggle experience struggle. The outer world is simply a mirror.
If you need more power, more control, then you need VPS hosting from Hostinger or store it.
The outer world is simply a mirror reflecting the inner state. To live in this state of assumption requires discipline. It requires a conscious decision to stop reacting to appearances and instead remain firm in your belief that all things are working together for your good. Even when things seem to be going wrong, you must hold on to your assumption. You must refuse to entertain thoughts of failure, fear, or doubt. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means recognizing that reality is a fluid expression of consciousness, and that by maintaining your inner alignment, you comes next. The moment you adopt this mindset, life becomes effortless. You no longer waste energy worrying, overanalyzing, or doubting. You step into a state of trust, knowing that the unseen forces of reality are aligning in your favor. You move through life with ease, grace, and confidence, allowing everything to unfold perfectly. This is the key to mastery, the ability to remain unshaken, to trust the unseen, and to know without a doubt that everything is already working out exactly as it should. Your inner world is the true cause of everything you experience. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you cultivate form the foundation of your reality. The world outside of you is not separate from you, it is a reflection of what is happening within. The greatest misunderstanding most people have is the belief that life happens to them, that circumstances dictate their state of mind. But in truth, your state of mind dictates your circumstances. Change always begins from within. If you believe that the world is chaotic, unpredictable, or against you, then your life will reflect these assumptions. You will encounter experiences that confirm your fears. You will see disorder where others see opportunities. But if you cultivate an inner world of peace, trust, and confidence, then even in the midst of what appears to be chaos, you will remain unshaken. The outer world is powerless in the face of a consciousness that is firm in its assumption. Most people live reactively, allowing external conditions to determine their emotions, thoughts, and actions. They wake up each day and look around for evidence of how they should feel. If things appear to be going well, they feel good. If challenges arise, they feel stressed or discouraged. But this way of living places all power outside of them. It makes them victims of circumstances rather than creators of their reality. The truth is that nothing outside of you has inherent power over your state of being. What is happening outside of you? The world does not create your emotions, you do. The world does not impose thoughts upon you, you choose them. And because the outer world is simply a mirror of your inner state, whatever you consistently hold in mind will eventually manifest. If you want to see change in your external reality, you must first shift the inner patterns that created it. Imagine two people facing the same situation: a business setback, the loss of a job, or a financial hardship. One person sees this as a disaster. They allow fear to take over, they dwell on worst-case scenarios, and they spiral into a state of despair. The other person, despite facing the same external event, sees it as an opportunity. They remind themselves that life is always working in their favor, that something better is on the way, and that this is merely a redirection toward a greater path. Their energy remains calm, their mind stays open, and their faith remains unshaken. Because of this, they attract a completely different outcome. What separates these two people is not their circumstances, but their inner world. The person who assumes disaster experiences disaster. The person who assumes things are always working out for them experiences exactly that. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of consciousness in action. Your inner state determines what unfolds in your life. Many people look for external proof before they allow themselves to believe in something good. They say, I will believe it when I see it. But reality does not work this way. You do not see in order to believe, you believe in order to see. Whatever you hold as true within yourself is what materializes in the world around you. If you continue to react to appearances, allowing them to dictate your state of mind, then you remain trapped in the same cycle. But the moment you take control of your inner world, you free yourself. Taking control of your inner world does not mean ignoring reality. It means understanding that reality is fluid, that it is always responding to your dominant state of consciousness. It means that no matter what is happening outside of you, you maintain a deep, unwavering conviction that everything is working in your favor. It means that instead of letting circumstances dictate your emotions, you decide your emotions in advance and allow reality to conform to them. If you want to see abundance, you must first feel abundant
is
within.
my last name.
If you want to experience love, you must first embody love.
We're on 80.
If you want to live in peace, you must
In
first
Pennsylvania,
cultivate peace
headed
within
to
yourself.
Wisconsin.
You cannot expect the world to change for you while you remain unchanged inside. The outer world is a perfect reflection of your dominant inner state. This understanding is what separates those who
My
move
man
through life
Cash, that's what
effortlessly
I'm
from
talking
those
about.
who constantly struggle. Some people seem to have a natural flow, where everything works out for them, opportunities come easily, and life unfolds in their favor. Others seem to face resistance at every turn, as if life itself is against them. The difference is not in luck, talent, or circumstance. The difference is in the state of consciousness they occupy. Those who expect things to work out for them find that they do. Those who expect difficulty find that they are met with obstacles. The moment you take control of your inner world, you regain power over your life. You no longer wait for circumstances to make you feel a certain way. You generate the feeling first. If you desire joy, you do not wait for an external reason to be joyful. You cultivate joy within, and life reflects it back to you. If you desire success, you do not wait for validation from the outside world. You embody success internally, and opportunities appear to match your assumption. This is not wishful thinking or blind optimism.
Yeah, they're in
It is
Oklahoma
the fundamental way that consciousness shapes reality. Most people live unconsciously, unaware that they are constantly creating their experience through their thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. They allow fear, doubt, and limitation to dominate their inner world, and as a result, their outer world mirrors these states. But once you awaken to the truth that your inner world is the true cause, you no longer waste energy fighting against circumstances. Instead, you shift your focus inward, knowing that the only true change happens from within. There is immense freedom in this understanding. You do not need to manipulate people, force events, or control every detail of your life. You only need to maintain dominion over your inner world. The more you discipline your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions, the more reality bends to accommodate your inner state. You move through life with confidence, knowing that external conditions are powerless against a consciousness that is firm in its belief. This is why faith is so powerful. Faith is not about hoping that something will work out. It is about knowing that it already has. Faith is the ability to remain unshaken in your assumption even when appearances suggest otherwise. It is the unwavering conviction that life is always unfolding perfectly, that everything is working in your favor, and that your inner world dictates the conditions of your life. If you take control of your inner world, you take control of everything. No longer do you need to fear change, doubt your path, or feel powerless in the face of circumstances. You realize that you have always been the creator, that your thoughts have always been shaping reality, and that by shifting your inner state, you shift everything around you. Most people search for control outside of themselves. They try to manipulate circumstances, force outcomes, and resist change. But true control is not found in the external, it is found in the mastery of your inner world. When you take control of your
I don't see
consciousness,
quick
you need
trips
nothing
on in
else.
California. I don't
The
really
world
see many of
outside
them.
of you is simply a reflection,
Anything
responding
besides
faithfully
regular
to the
gas
state you
stations,
occupy
honestly.
within. There is no need to struggle, no
I mean,
need to
there's
force,
pilots,
no need to
pilots
fear.
and loves.
You only need to assume the state of what you desire and persist in that assumption. The moment you align your inner world with the reality you wish to see, life organizes itself to match. This
Yeah,
is not
there's
a
no
theory,
quick
it is
trips
the way
like we
life
don't
has
got no
always
in and
worked.
out.
But whether you will claim this power for yourself. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is your own inner conviction. The world you experience is nothing more than a projection of your own assumptions, beliefs, and dominant states of consciousness. Nothing outside of you has power over you unless you accept it as true. The moment you understand this, you reclaim control over your life. Nor do you seek validation from outside sources. You stand firm in the knowing that life must conform to the reality you persistently assume. There is no force working against you. There is no randomness in your experience. Everything unfolds in perfect alignment with what you consistently believe to be true about yourself and the world. If you accept the idea that external conditions dictate your state of being, you will live reactively, always adjusting yourself to whatever appears before you. But if you understand that your state of being dictates external conditions, then you no longer wait for change. Every great transformation begins in the unseen. Before anything manifests in your physical reality, it first exists as an idea, a belief, an assumption held within. Nothing comes into form without first existing in consciousness. This is why your inner world is the most powerful force in your life. If you wish to see different results, you must first occupy the inner state that corresponds with those results. You must live in the end, assuming the feeling of your desired reality as if it were already true. Most people believe that circumstances shape their beliefs, but in truth, their beliefs shape their circumstances. The person who constantly expects struggle will always find evidence to support their expectation. The person who assumes success will experience opportunities where others see obstacles. This is not luck. It is the law of consciousness at work. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. Many spend their lives waiting for proof before they believe in something better. They say, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is backwards. You will only see it when you believe it. Reality is fluid. It is always shifting and molding itself to match your dominant inner state. If you continue to look at what is and allow it to define what is possible for you, you will never break free from your current circumstances. But the moment you decide to assume something greater, despite appearances, you set into motion the forces that will bring it into being. The secret is persistence. The mind is easily swayed by appearances, easily tempted to react to what seems to be. But what seems to be is only a reflection of past assumptions. It is not fixed, it is not final, and it has no power over you unless you give it power. The moment you refuse to be moved by appearances, the moment you stand firm in your chosen assumption, despite external evidence, you begin to see the world bend in response. Reality must conform to the state of consciousness you maintain. Nothing is out of control because everything is responding to your state of being. Even when things appear chaotic, even when life seems uncertain, it is still operating within the framework of your assumptions. If you assume disorder, you will see disorder. If you assume harmony, you will experience harmony. The world does not create your inner state creates the world. If you wish to see a change, you must discipline your mind. You must train yourself to remain unmoved by circumstances that do not align with your desired reality. You must persist in the inner feeling of what you want, regardless of what your senses report. The outer world is not a fixed structure. It is a mirror reflecting the contents of your mind. It is not separate from you, nor is it independent of your assumptions. The moment you grasp this, you step into true power.